riding fast, eating ass. Welcome to the Stuckcast.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So this is an episode with Clark and T-Bane. Clark, tell us about yourself.
My name's Clark. I'm the Vice President of Striker MC. I joined in August of 2021, and I have held
That's a good name.
the
Club
secretary
Passion.
position as well, and I've been recently introduced to the VP spot.
Okay. And which clubs have you been before?
I've been in a handful. The one I was in the longest before this was Tortured Spirits MC. I was with them for probably 3 to 4 years. And then before that, I was in this club called Unholy Reapers. That was the first club I was in on PlayStation 4. And then super long time. That was like 2014, 2013, 2014. And then
We all talk about big club stuff.
for the little bit of time I was on Xbox 360, I was in a club called War Chiefs. And that was
War
definitely 2013. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been pretty long in the MC community. And how did you join Strike MC?
It was pretty simple, actually. I've seen them before. I've seen you guys before, and I actually ended up not being in an MC for quite a while after Tortured Spirits, and then I wanted to get back into it, and I just looked up MCs on YouTube, and Striker MC popped up. I filled out an app.
Think that's a good name?
Scarlett reached out to me after.
Yeah.
And we went from there.
Okay. So you've been like since 2013 in the MC community. You've been in a several other clubs before. Like, what's then the difference from Strike MC and the other clubs? Like because you have the experience to compare all of them.
Yeah. This is the first club that I've been in where members have an abundance of free thinking, and they do not rely on multiple members or a select few officers to make their decisions for them and to kind of do the thinking for them. You'll see a lot of clubs that are very top heavy where their president holds a lot of power, he holds a lot of influence amongst the club. This one, it's every single member, no matter what position they're in, has the same amount of say, can have the same amount of influence, they can say what they want to say. And you'll see a lot of clubs, when the president leaves, the club shuts down. Or when a couple influential members leave, the club shuts down. There is no chance of that ever happening here.
And why you think is that? Like, what's what we have? Because that's not happening.
Well, I think the systems that we have in place can almost make the club run itself. Whereas, we have the template to run our club on our website, and we have things in place that keep people in check, that keep power limited amongst members, and I think that's super important for clubs to have, because if you don't have that, you can start to see kind of a shift in power, and maybe one person is starting to make decisions that may not be just in that particular time and may have negative implications later down the road.
Okay. And you said you built the application on the Strike MC website. What was the whole reason? Like, hey, I want to join this club. Before you decide, before you put the application on.
Yeah. So I knew that this club was traditional in the sense of like they've been around a while. They have a good pulse of what the community is like. They're influential. And so it was the only club that I applied for at the time. And I thought it would be a good fit for someone like me who has been around for such a long time in the community. There's not a lot of people who have been around since the game came out. And I thought that a club like that would be a good fit for me.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Was there any difficult situations you was since Strike MC, and how did you deal with it or fix it?
As far as difficult situations, I think that when we look at our systems and you try to make them better and you want to enhance them or you want to create a new one, I think that it can be incredibly difficult to create something that is fair and create something that is beneficial to the club, and not just you in that situation. So I think something that really was difficult to create was the Nomad system.
Yeah.
So me and one other member, Mac, were the main, we were the main writers for that system, and then obviously we would bring it to the table, and the guys would edit it and, make sure that all the words were correct, not grammatically, but, systematically, meaning, okay, what does this mean? So that was pretty difficult to make and to hopefully be effective, and it just takes time. Takes time, takes effort, you got to be careful with your words. So, it was a difficult balance, but just being persistent made it easier.
Okay. So now you joined since 2021, correct?
Yeah.
Where have you been proud of Strike MC?
I mean, there's a ton to be proud of. There is not a lot of clubs out here that can say they've been around for 10 years. And I think that Striker MC has withstood the test of time. I think that I'm incredibly proud of the membership here that promote this idea of independence and doing it our own way. Striker we do it in our own way. Whereas we're not trying to really follow the influence of other clubs. We're not really trying to follow the influence of the community either. We're doing what we think is best at the time, and we're doing what is best for us and not just for other people throughout the community.
Okay. Do you have any ambitions for the club to see in the future? Or just right at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, the future is so up in the air right now with GTA 6. However, the future is not really so up in the air with Striker MC, I don't think. We are a club that always kind of finds a way. That's what you have to have when you've been around for 10 years. When things look bleak, you have to find a way. And I think Striker MC's always done that, and I think we'll continue to do that. My ambition, is to see that fire and that drive of the entire MC community kind of like it was, a handful of years ago, 2016, 17, 18, where the MC community was full of life. Clubs were everywhere. The momentum from the MC update was at an all-time high. And now we've kind of seen this shift in the community where it's a little dull, and it's kind of been infested with these TDM crews, and just the vibe is different. So my ambition would be to see that life get brought back into the community one day.
Okay. Yeah, same here. I mean, like you and me have been like for a pretty long time in the MC community, and it's a whole different energy and vibe than it was like 2018. It was a peak, and after 2018, and then Corona, it was just like slowing down. Till
Yeah,
now.
it 100% has slowed down. It's quite the shift, you know. The feeling that you had about an MC community before is like, before the MC update, we had to make all of our own shit. Like, we had to make our own clubhouses. We had to make the best we could, you know, outfit-wise. We were just limited to the leather jackets. Bike-wise, we were limited to less than a handful of bikes. And I think now that we have like all these resources and all these bikes and clubhouses and outfits and all that, it's invited more people to the community, which you would think is a good thing. But now we're getting a lot of people in here that they don't have any sort of idea of what an MC is like. They don't have a pulse of, they don't really care about the actual motorcycle club aspect. They care more about the fact that this is a community of people that fight with specific weapons and limit themselves to these motorcycles in lobbies. And they don't understand the intertwined brotherhood and sense of community and sense of pride that a lot of us people who have been here for a while, like you and I, feel towards this.
Yeah. Okay. Like, you speak a lot about Strike MC, but you know, I see you got passion. I know you for some time. Where does the passion come from, and what inspires you to do stuff, to be part of this and just doing more than just in the regular patch?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what can inspire me is just the feeling of wanting to expand, the feeling of wanting to be better, and the feeling of wanting to really like set up the future of Striker MC. I think that being a patch member of a lot of MCs is easy. You know, you get patched in a few weeks, and then you can, once you're there, I mean, who's going to stop you from doing something else?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, that's true. But you know, if somebody is gonna join Strike MC, right? Like a recruit, what are you specifically looking for a recruit if you want to join Strike MC?
I'm looking for a guy who's willing to think for himself, a guy who's not afraid to speak his mind, and someone who is ready and willing to put forth some effort.
Clark, can you summarize the club for me?
Yeah, and like what we're about and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I kind of touched on it a little bit before, where we promote guys who think for themselves and guys who speak their own mind. We promote equality throughout our members more than anything else. Okay, we want guys, whether you're the president or the newest patch member, to come up with ideas and think for yourself. We want to do it our way. We want to do it the quote-unquote Striker way, where we're not influenced by other people. We're going to do what's best for our club. And I think that we've been a leader in the community for reasons like that. We're putting on great events, okay, doing it our way, having members think for themselves. I think all of these are qualities that make Striker MC what it is.
interesting. For the future of Striker MC, what are you looking for the club coming towards GTA 6?
I'm looking for expansion. I'm looking for growth. You know, I'm hoping that we can kind of be a pioneer on GTA 6, whereas you know we're making our own rules and we are growing member-wise. Those would all be really exciting things for me to see on the game.
Okay. For the community, what would you do? What would you do to make a change on the community for the better?
You know, I think I don't know if there's much that we can do right now, because you know this way of playing the game is so inviting for a lot of people. But I think idealistically, we'd have to go back to our roots of being imaginative and, you know, working with what you got. We were begging for this MC update, and I think once we got it, we kind of lost that imaginative spark, and we now just kind of expect, I think, a lot of things to just get given to us. And I think if you want to fix that community, you know, you got to bring it back to your roots. And who knows what it'll be on the next game? You know, maybe we'll get nothing, and we'll have to go back to those roots, and we'll see.
Same thing with 5M. That people on the clubs in consoles, they go to 5M because all the fancy stuff. That also have made a change for the community. On 6 at the beginning, there will be no 5M probably, because the PC part will be coming later, like the other GTA games. So it's interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, it will be super interesting.
And what do you like to see for the community on GTA 6?
You know, I'm really not sure. I think that it's going to be very different compared to this game. I'm not so positive that clubs are going to be so willing to agree on like a 1% rule like they did here. And even on this game, you know, there are some clubs that think some things are 1% in that combat wise, and then others don't. So I think it'll be a little more intense at the beginning, and I'm not so positive that people are going to come to an agreement. So I think we're going to see a lot of clubs kind of going off in different directions, combat-wise, setup-wise, clothing-wise, vehicle-wise. And I'm not sure we're going to feel that sense of like understanding again when it comes to the combat.
Okay. Yeah, it's really interesting times next year. Clark, that was all my questions. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, T-Bane. I appreciate it.
Alright, my brother. Alright, guys. I'll catch you guys the next time.
See you guys later.